Hello, my name is Manab, and today we are going to talk about ProAV networking and solutions offered by NETGEAR in ProAV networking. Believe it or not, AV over IP products have been around for 10 years. At some point, everything will move to the network. IP convergence already happened with telephony, surveillance, audio, and other industries. However, it is only recently that the AV industry has reached the tipping point. If we take a look at the global market sizing for just the interconnect part of the business, we can see some trends that bode well for the AV over IP. There is definitely a slow decline in HD-based T products. The distance and functionality limitations make it difficult to continue to use that technology. With that comes the growth of AV over IP products, with growth in both 1 gig and 10 gig and SDVoE products, and a corresponding growth in dollars spent. All of this points to a growing demand for switches, and NETGEAR is devoting people and products to help satisfy this demand. Why do we feel this is the time for AV over IP? There are 4 reasons. End user needs. This is something we sometimes forget. The need for IP-based solutions is mainly centered around the desire for future-proofing, which means it is a great investment for the future. Vendors. In contrast with the past attempts at accelerating AV over IP, it's not just 1 or 2 obscure vendors that are stepping into this change. The largest and most influential AV vendors in the industry, from the SDVoE Alliance to Extron and Crestron, are leading the change. These companies basically hold 80% of the current total AV industry. So if they are pushing AV over IP, the transition will take place. Technology. This is a very important element. The technology has to be there to enable adoption. This has been one of the challenges in the past. Increased video traffic in combination with the increased latency can put a lot of pressure on the existing IP networks. So now we have faster Ethernet speeds being adopted, which then allows the bestest possible solution. But if no one is able to take advantage of it due to a lack of adoption, then we are at an impasse. A good example is why Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, Disney streaming services exploded in the last few years. They all had the same benefit, thanks to faster Wi-Fi and Ethernet speeds. Content. Finally, there is a content. Even though vendors are leading the change by creating products to support higher resolutions, without the actual content, nothing is changing. We all know that 4K is now the bare minimum of expectations. This means that more content is available in 4K and 8K right behind it. This is where traditional solutions have their biggest limitation. They can't easily update their solutions, so a change needs to happen. AV over IP is happening right now, and it will only expand due to the reasons just discussed. So what are the possible applications for AV over IP? Really, just about everywhere. From sports stadiums, entertainment venues, and education facilities to surgical control rooms, high-end residential and retail signages, all of these are opportunities for AV over IP. Each of these have particular needs that can be met with the high resolution visuals, low latency, and scalability that are core benefits of networked AV. So let's see why Ethernet versus traditional metric switching and what are the benefits of moving to AV over IP. If we take a look at the challenges with traditional metric switching, we can see why people are moving towards AV over IP or Ethernet switching. First, there is a lack of flexibility and scalability, especially when it comes to needing more inputs than outputs or vice versa. These types of asynchronous installations are perfect for Ethernet since each port can be an input or output. It's just data. And our M4300 switches, even differently sized switches, can be stacked, providing ultimate flexibility. over the system. Resolution and oftentimes functionality is locked in on traditional matrix switcher from the time you order it. So if you want to support a higher resolution, you may need to replace the entire unit. However, when using Ethernet, it's just data. So we support any resolution you may encounter. HD-based solutions are not fully interoperable. So you are limited to a single vendor for all your equipments. And HD-based does not work over standard Ethernet switches. So with AV over IP, it is Ethernet, and NETGEAR has a full line of switches that work with any vendor. Perhaps one of the primary driving factors away from traditional matrix switching towards Ethernet switching with AV over IP is cost. As the installation begins to grow, the flexibility and scalability and the ease of integration coupled with a lower cost per port are all driving the adaptation of IP-based solutions. The basic AV over IP system is quite simple, with sources being encoded, connecting through a network switch to a decoder that are connected to displays. Video walls are simply 4 decoders working in sync, displaying single or multiple video streams. AV over IP allows you to easily add encoders or decoders to the system to create any size metrics required. This ability to be asynchronous is one of the key selling points of any AV over IP systems. NETGEAR has been a strong supporter of this SDVoE, and in fact, they are the founding members. However, there are other AV over IP solutions that NETGEAR supports. The industry has been focused and sometimes divided between 2 dominant camps of AV over IP solutions, 1 gigabit and 10 gigabit. There are several types of codecs used in these camps, and all have their strengths and weaknesses. Some of these you may have heard of, and some you may have not, as vendors may use their own proprietary name for these codecs. This is not an exhaustive list, by the way. The point is that all of these platforms require the use of a network switch. Even 1 gig platforms need the bandwidth of our AV over IP switches. It is simple math. Stream 10 1 gig streams, and you are now in 10 GB environment and need a high performance switch. Using a 10 GB solution, quickly you are up to 100 Gbps, and luckily NETGEAR has switches to handle all that bandwidth. The SDVoE Alliance is an ecosystem of companies in and around the AV over IP space working together to create fantastic platform for the next generation of audiovisual applications. Not only do all the SDVoE products and solutions work together with IP-based 0 frame latency and ultra low at no compression of 4K videos, it is important to understand that the entire software-defined concept means that aside from the transport perspective of moving signals around, SDVoE provides the programming interface that rides right at the top of this whole thing, allowing interoperability between vendors. Here is a ProAV application example where a NETGEAR switch has been placed with encoders and decoders connected in the entire network. So what are the key advantages of our M4300 and M4500 switches? We offer a wide range of solutions from 1 gig to the newly announced 4500 series of switches, which has 100 gig as well. We offer lifetime warranty on the products, and we have a dedicated engineering services to help customers to assist for all ProAV solutions. Out of the box, it comes with a feature which is called as IGMP Plus, which is a NETGEAR software solution boxed into the NETGEAR switches. So this is a unique feature. Why so special? Because it removes the need for complicated layer 3 PIM routing, and this is pre-configured in all M4300 and M4500 models. Don't just take our word for how great we are. Let's take a look for some real-world examples of NETGEAR deployments. Quadrum Institute in Norwich, England, has deployed NETGEAR solution with their AV requirements. Level 3 audiovisual, it's a US AV solution systems provider, which was selected by the University of Arizona to install an IP-based network. And Genesis Technologies, which installed M4300 series for their ProAV requirement. And we have successfully delivered what was the requirement. So why NETGEAR? NETGEAR's commitment to the ProAV market is indicated by the creation of a team who are experts who know AV as well as IT. Aside from the dedicated ProAV design team, NETGEAR offers an unmatched level of support, including lifetime warranty, new box replacements, and an active online community to get help from people who have done it before. With this, I would like to thank you for listening to this breakout session. Hope to catch you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.